Hey there, it's Stephen Deely from Business 222 and Management 122. And I just wanted to do a short video describing the contents of your upcoming exam for chapters 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. So first things first, just to show you where it's available, it's in this week's module. So week 12 assignments. Obviously, I realize your persuasive message is due on Wednesday, November 10th. So that's up there in your weekly quizzes and Cengage homework. But that's also where you're going to find your exam for chapters 7 through 10. Also on there, you're going to find some exam information. It's the same thing that's gone out to you via Canvas announcement. And also I attached a Word document for that. So then the exam and the exam info right there in that page. All right. So what I'll go ahead and do, I'm just going to read through the information document that I've created for you. I know this Word documents and things like that in a lecture are always a little boring, but I want to give you the details. So here you go. It's going to cover chapters 7 through 10. Okay. And it's available on Wednesday, November 10th. It'll be due Wednesday, November 17th. So you've got that week block of time in there to take the exam. The format, it is 25 multiple choice questions, true false questions, objective questions. Those are worth 2 points apiece. And you know what, I've just got that broken down. There's 6 of those for each chapter. And I think and then obviously in one of the chapters has 7 to give you 25. There's 4 short essay questions that are 10 points apiece, 1 for each chapter. So it's 90 points total. So 4 chapters, 90 points. So similar weight to your writing assignment. So it's going to be conducted online via Canvas. And once you begin, you've got 90 minutes to complete it. Okay. You need to complete the exam in one setting. So in other words, you can't work for 30 minutes, save it, and come back and work on it again later. Once you start working, the clock is running. Okay. So the exam is available Wednesday, November 10th, 2021. It'll be available at 10:15 a.m. Same time that I have an in-person section meeting. And you'll have until Wednesday, November 17th at 10 p.m. to finish that. All right. The exam is not going to be available once the deadline is passed. Okay. It's going to cover chapters 7 through 10. So what I've got listed here are just some of the basic concepts from each chapter that'll be included in your multiple choice questions. It's by no means a comprehensive list, but just look at the notes I posted. Look at the slides. You've taken Cengage quizzes and you've read the chapters. So you should be well versed in these. So chapter 7, digital messages and electronic media. Again, this is a direct pattern and all of the topics that are listed in there. Chapter 8, positive messages, also direct pattern. And this one, again, talking about the characteristics, again, of things like direct requests, direct replies, direct claims, and adjustments. Chapter 9, negative messages or bad news messages, using the indirect pattern. So understand that pattern, okay? Understand that pattern that's involved there, all right? And we talked about the strategies for doing it, techniques, et cetera, et cetera. Finally, the most recent chapter that a lot of you are still working on the writing assignment, persuasive and sales message, again, also an indirect pattern, okay? We build up to the persuasive part of it, just like with negative messages, we build up to the bad news, all right? So just understanding the components of each one of those chapters. And then you've got 4 short essay questions, 1 for each chapter, and I've got them listed right here for you. So you have these questions in advance. So try and prepare yourself, maybe outline a response before you begin working on the test. Chapter 7, here's your question. You're responsible for training a new group of employees in proper email use in the workplace. Don't laugh. I know companies that do this now because there's a image and information and clarity that they want their employees to project in their messages when they're working with customers. Describe 5 important rules of netiquette or best email practices that you should cover in the training session. So this could be things simply like have a good subject line, right? Something that previews the message. Have a greeting et cetera, et cetera. You can probably come up with 15 different things for this particular question. I want 5. And you can just list them in number or bullet point form. I don't need them in a paragraph. To be honest, it's much easier for me to grade if you've got them listed sequentially with bullet points. Chapter 8, you're a landlord for an office building. You receive a claim letter from a tenant asking for a refund of $2,000 for extra rent that was paid in June. So in other words, you've got a customer who overpaid 1 month, and you find out that June rent was deducted twice from the tenant's bank account. You think this must be a bank error, but the double amount was transferred to your bank account. So in other words, for whatever reason, right, your customer has double paid in June. What I want you to do is write an adjustment letter to the tenant and enclose a refund check, okay? Enclose a check. Don't say we're gonna look into it. Don't say we're gonna send you a check. Don't say we've transferred the money. The instructions here say enclose a refund check. And I know as most transactions nowadays are completed via electronic transfer, including the original rent payment, some companies and organizations still cut checks to people, okay, even if they've done electronic transactions before. Some of it's just kind of vestiges of the past. That's how they did things. Sometimes it works better to keep track of things when they cut a check. Also, you know, when organizations write a check, it means they're not parting with those funds, right, until the check actually clears the account. So they actually get to hold on to the money for a little bit longer. All right. So again, write an adjustment letter to the tenant and enclose a refund check. You can omit the address, salutation, and close. And again, keep in mind with that, if you're a tenant who was charged twice, what's the first thing you want to know in that message? The first thing you want to know is, where's my money? So the first line of that message should say something like, enclosed is your refund check. Chapter 9, you're writing a bad news letter to the president of Santiago Canyon College, who has asked you to speak at this year's graduation ceremony. So you've been asked by our president to speak, and you're going to turn it down. So you must come up with an effective buffer for your letter. Decide which technique you'll use. Okay, it could be appreciation, a compliment, any one of those things. Describe it and write the actual buffer statement. So that's all you need to do is say, I'm decided to use this technique and it does this, and then write that actual buffer statement. You don't need to write the entire message, just the things that are listed here. Finally, chapter 10, successful business people create persuasive memos, letters, email messages, reports, and presentations that get the results that they want. Your textbook presents 6 persuasion techniques that can help you be effective in getting your ideas accepted by your fellow workers, superiors, and clients. List and explain 3 different techniques. So these techniques can be things like tie facts to benefits, compromise, those things. There's actually a slide that I had, it's in the video for this particular lecture, chapter 10. It's also in the slides in there where they show you 6 different techniques, okay? Pick 3 of those and explain what those are, okay? This is not the pattern. Do not tell me gain attention, build interest. Reducing resistance is actually in there, and motivating action. That's the pattern. I want to know the techniques for persuasion, all right? So listen, explain 3 of those. So again, this exam will be available on Wednesday, November 10th, and it's due on Wednesday, November 17th. I wish you good luck. Let me know if you have any questions. Have a great week. Thank you.